Coalition denial makes labor seem reasonable on climate, but neither is ambitious enough. Only an ambitious government can reap the economic benefits of the net zero transition for the Australian people, and ambition is in short supply. Labor continues to talk out of both sides of its mouth, setting a target range in line with its usual pragmatic caution, while simultaneously endorsing fossil fuel expansion despite the existential threat of climate change to the region. No wonder PNG and Vanuatu have reservations about signing exclusive security agreements with us. At the same time, the coalition, or what's left of it, is making it easy for the government to look reasonable by again disputing the long-settled moral and scientific arguments about climate policy. It's as if they don't realize such discredited, antediluvian obscurantism has helped cost them 2 elections, each time by a greater margin. Next, they'll be telling us the Earth is flat and Copernicus got the movement of the planets wrong. While her front bench threatened to walk unless she dumped net zero by 2050, the opposition leader, Susan Ley, touted the coalition's economic credentials in a recent speech. https://australianews/2025 SEP16 Coalition to Fight Labor Universal Childcare Plan as Ley signals unrelenting pursuit of efficiency. This is a befuddling contradiction. Ley says a key criterion of net zero is stable, reliable, and affordable energy, while her own coalition continues to undermine the prospect of achieving those very things by destabilizing investment in the energy transition. With nuclear too slow and expensive, ailing coal-fired power stations not worth fixing, and the cost of gas weighing on consumers, business certainty and clear policy settings are critical to enable investment in renewable energy. Yet, the coalition's flip-flopping, which is underpinned by personal ambition by particular members of its frontbench, is playing dangerous games with the Australian economy and with it the future prosperity of our nation. That's you, your kids and your grandkids, their safety, their national security, their jobs, their quality of life, not forgetting the disruptive consequences for our immediate neighborhood. That includes inundation of low-lying cities like Bangkok and Jakarta, and climate-related food shortages that could trigger instability across the region. The horrifying, delayed, and entirely unsurprising National Climate Risk Assessment released last week backs this up. As reported here, https://www.thegUardian.com/2025/SEP/15/Australia National Climate Risk Assessment Summary 5 Key Takeaways, Heat-Related Deaths, Economic Cost, Climate Change. Everything will be affected. The economy, food systems and communities, health, national security, First Nations people, transport, energy and the natural environment. Well, duh. Anyone who's been affected by a flood, fire, storm, or drought, had their insurance costs go up, experienced a transport delay, energy interruption, or been unable to buy a banana due to a weather event knows this is already upon us. And that's pretty much every Australian. So are we going to be stupid? Or are we going to be smart? And which leaders will reflect our choice? Because it's the cost of not doing it that we should be focused on. As the CSIRO said, https://www.ipcc.ch/report/WG2/Chapter 11 in 2019, under a slow decline scenario where Australia fails to adequately address climate change and sustainability challenges, GDP is projected to grow at 0.7% less per year, and real wages would be 50% lower than under an outlook scenario where Australia meets climate change and sustainability challenges. To be clear, A slow decline in which Australia fails to adequately address the challenges identified will lead to poorer outcomes across multiple dimensions. Treasury modeling, released alongside the climate target range, repeats this, estimating that a disorderly transition would result in an economy 1.2 tons smaller. That means fewer jobs that are less well-paying, lower standards of living for our kids and grandkids, and the social disruption and dislocation that goes with it. Oh, and higher energy prices? More marches for Australia, anyone? Before the release of the target, last week Deloitte modeling from businessfor75.com.au, download unlockingpotential.ps.powering.prosperity.pdf. For a coalition of 500 Australian businesses suggested that a 75% emissions reduction target by 2035 versus 65% could yield $227 billion in additional GDP over 10 years, growing to $490 billion over 25 years. This is in part due to the market forces that a decisive target would drive.